Parents made the toughest choice of their lives. Inside Edition tells what happened next.
Their story gripped the hearts of America. This young girl dying of cancer and her mother's risky decision to have a baby who could act as a donor.
We were going to try it, if there was a chance.
I can never repay her for what she's done.
Inside a baby sister's gift of life. Watch Inside Edition.
Tonight at 7 on TVT 13.
A recent study says 59% of unregistered Floridians don't care about politics. That means you don't care about roads, education, taxes, utilities, law enforcement. Register and vote.
From your 24-hour news source, this is Eyewitness News Overnight.
Good morning, I'm Stan Jason. A former Hillsborough Community College student was sentenced to 40 years in prison Thursday. 19-year-old Craig Goldberg was sentenced Thursday in the beating death of his girlfriend, 20-year-old Jessica Enright. Goldberg tried to kill himself after the murder and left a note admitting he beat the University of South Florida student. Calling it one of the most brutal killings she's ever seen, Judge Barbara Fleischer exceeded state sentencing guidelines in the case. He's known as the handcuff man, and now he's sentenced to 17 years in prison for attacking a man on the Courtney Campbell Causeway last year. Robert Lee Bennett pleaded guilty Thursday to drugging Gary Clapp, then setting him on fire. Clapp lost both legs in the attack. Bennett is ready to plead guilty to similar attacks in Atlanta. The woman Mike Tyson's convicted of raping is on the cover of the next issue of People magazine. Desiree Washington tells the magazine she accused Tyson of rape because it was the right thing to do, not to get publicity. Authorities still don't know what caused a car fire in Pinellas Park Thursday that killed an infant. Little Anthony Duffy died in the fire, but his two sisters were able to escape from the vehicle. The baby's mother had left the car to go into a friend's house when the fire started. The mother was burned trying to save the infant. A chemical tanker has run aground in the waters of Tampa Bay. It's filled with 4 different kinds of acid. Officials say at this point it's only a threat to navigational interests. The tanker ran aground at about 10 o'clock Thursday night in the main shipping channel. A man whose identity has not been released was run over by a train and killed in Gibsonton Thursday evening. It happened just east of 41 on Sims Road. Authorities say the man was lying on the tracks when he was struck by a northbound CSX train. The winning Cash 3 numbers on Thursday were 3, 6, and 8, and the Play 4 numbers were 3, 4, 6, 7. The Tampa Bay weather forecast is next. Stay with us.
This quote from Sears to refinish my old cabinets is over $7,800. It's too high, and I still have my old cabinets.
My quote on the same kitchen with new solid wood cabinets is only $3,637. Save $4,100 and get new cabinets. Call in your measurements, and we'll give you a ballpark quote on the phone in 5 minutes. This 12-foot set, $853.
And we got these cabinets in stock.
Hey, City Plywood, Tampa and Pinellas.
Mike McCall says more fog is on the way. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Stan. And most of the fog really hasn't gotten too dense yet. And one reason is we've got some clouds moving in, so that kind of mixes up the atmosphere. Now, fog is a result of very stable air, so when you get some clouds mixing up the atmosphere a little bit, it tends to slow down the formation of the fog. It will be around during the early morning hours. You can count on it. It will probably be locally dense in a few areas. Now, you can see the high clouds streaming rather rapidly. Now, these are up around 20 or 30,000 feet, so they certainly don't contain any rain or anything like that. As I said, the only thing they do provide is a little bit of mixing in the atmosphere, slowing down that fog formation. Otherwise, you can see mostly fair skies across the southeast, with the exception of these high clouds. There is some rain towards the north, over Mississippi and up towards Arkansas. It's going to stay there right on through the weekend. We'll just see fog in the morning, and then it's mostly sunny skies during the afternoon. Temperature-wise, still quite mild. Temperatures holding in the 50s across central Florida. The cold spots are 48 for both Jacksonville and Gainesville. Temperatures probably won't drop too much more this morning, but then with sunshine this afternoon, a high around 75. Stan?
Thanks, Mike, and that's Eyewitness News Overnight for now. Thanks for watching. Your next news in 1 hour from your 24-hour news source. Join us then.
1 hour of the world, 1 hour of Tampa Bay. Eyewitness News is the only news that gives you both from a local perspective. 5 a.m., the world. 6 a.m., Tampa Bay. Alan Brett and Wire. Howard Shapiro with weather. At 5 a.m., an hour of world and national news that affects you. At 6 a.m., an hour of world and local news, weather, and traffic. Eyewitness News this morning, exclusively from your 24-hour news source.
The most important part of any story is to get the people to open up.
This is fascinating to watch.
You get them to be honest with you by being honest with them. What do most of your friends that are Cuban say? You want them to know that you're out here to tell their story. Anytime somebody feels like you're listening to them and you care about what they're saying, then they're going to talk to you, because that's what human nature is all about. People interacting with one another.
Kelly Ring, weeknights on Eyewitness News. Roy Leap, weeknights on Eyewitness News.
Got it.
Samson, darling, that old loincloth does nothing for you.
It's comfortable, Delilah. What should I wear?
Gird those lovely loins in something temptingly different.
Ribbed whites?
From Fruit of the Loom.
Hey, incredible! This ribbed cotton is more than comfortable.
It moves with you.
Yeah, and the cut's trimmer.
I see, my mighty one.
They feel great!
For extra comfort and style, pick Fruit of the Loom ribbed whites.
Sam, I told you to get a haircut.
The total number of cheese puffs that you've eaten during championship wrestling and church picnics would add up to one profound puff. But you still wouldn't have a taste as big as these little Gino's pizza rolls. A tremendous taste of zesty pizza and a hot little bite-sized snack. A taste so big, it makes cheese puffs seem a little flat. Gino's Pizza Rolls, the pizza way to snack.
Does the sniffling and sneezing that's keeping you up at night tell you your cold pill isn't doing all it should? Does your coughing and sore throat give you the feeling those tiny time pills aren't so advanced? Then it's time to try the new NyQuil Liquid Cap. It has the relief you expect of liquid medicines for coughs and sore throats, plus relief for sneezing and congestion. The Vicks NyQuil Liquid Cap, the very first nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, sore throat, fever, so you can rest. Liquid Cap.
What are people saying about our low-calorie Tropicana Twister?
At last, they have seen the light.
Tropicana Twister Light. It's lighter in calories.
Calories are our friends.
Because it's the first and only bottled juice drink with NutraSweet.
The very thought makes me lightheaded.
Tempting low-calorie combinations like orange raspberry.
We take things one fruit at a time.
They're flavors Mother Nature never intended. Low-calorie Tropicana Twister Light.
It's heavy, dude.
Just like Lethal Weapon.
Incoming!
Only a few years older.
I could have died. I had a 5-way bypass.
A few pounds heavier.
Fat gut.
And a few steps slower.
Country person don't do things like a city person does.
But with a whole lot more experience.
You may get one of us, but you ain't gonna get us both.
Richard Farnsworth.
You throw a heck of a punch for a kid.
And Wilfred Brimley.
Stop calling me kid.
The Boys of Twilight, February 29th.
Wish to blazes I could figure out which one of us was the sidekick.
Vail, the king of Colorado skiing, extends its reign as #1. Five-night packages to America's favorite ski resort start at just $527 per person. For Vail information or to make reservations, call 1-800-525-2257.
People will come up to me and say, aren't you from here? Didn't I go to high school with you? And I think it makes me more accessible. People are more willing to talk to me. Just jump in and try to get your points out. The talk show, Eye on Tampa Bay, has helped me to get close to a lot of people that journalists don't normally get a chance to touch on a day-to-day basis. Blunt and Childs would be good. That helps me in covering the news because it gives me an insight that I would not normally have.
Kathy Fountain, weekdays on Eyewitness News at 5.
Glass bottles are 100% recyclable. Old ones are crushed, melted, and made into new ones again and again. Recycling glass saves energy and helps the environment. Make recycling a part of your family's routine and keep Florida beautiful.
It's a statement for carrying the stage, flash and read. It's a statement for love. So keep Florida clean. It's got sunshine, state of mind. Got to keep Florida clean.
Russell is a freshman, goes around 6'7". Don, what does he go?
He's 6'7".
6'7". They use him in the front of that 1-3-1 press, which blinds the guard, and the guard threw the ball away. Good call by Coach John McLeod.
You're about to see how Goodyear is changing all-season driving right before your eyes. Introducing AquaTread, only from Goodyear. AquaTread's advanced design channels water out of your way for dependable all-season traction, especially in the rain when you may need it most. AquaTread, the newest reason why we say the best tires in the world have Goodyear written all over them.
Today's Contact takes on
Carol's horrible cold. I have a lot of congestion in through here, like it's going to blow off the top of my head.
You took a cold pill, right?
The effects wore off. The congestion's coming back.
That's because ordinary cold pills can quit working after just 4 hours. Try Contact. You'll get continuous relief for up to 12 hours.
I felt wonderful. All my symptoms were gone, everything dried up. It's for busy people who have no time to be sick. This is a great product, and I'm going to go out and buy it tonight.
Today's Contact, 12 hours stronger than Carol's horrible cold.
It's not easy to pull yourself away, pull yourself away, pull yourself away from a bowl of Kellogg's Raisin Bran.
Flight 421, you're cleared for takeoff. Do you read?
Those 2 scoops of raisins taste so good, you'll find that once you start, you can't leave behind. It's those 2 scoops that taste too good to pull yourself away. 2 scoops that taste too good, too good, too good. In Kellogg's Raisin Bran, 2 scoops.
They won't work in this heat.
They say no AC, no show.
Say you need something set overnight.
Those prima donnas.
There are a few companies you can call.
The part's on its way.
But say you need it by 10:30 a.m. Guaranteed, there are 2. But only one is so efficient and reliable. They get it there on time for far less.
It's showtime.
Which is why to some people, there is only one. UPS.
Tom Watson, Fred Couples, John Daly, and this year's hottest golfers tee off at the Buick Invitational of California next weekend on NBC.
Tomorrow, a very special NBA doubleheader on NBC. First, Isaiah Thomas and the Pistons go against Charles Barkley and the 76ers at the Spectrum. Then in the second half, the Boston Celtics battle the Los Angeles Lakers at the Forum. And at halftime of Game 2, the Lakers will retire Magic Johnson's number 32 jersey. Coverage begins at 12:30 Eastern Time with NBA Showtime. That's an NBA doubleheader tomorrow on NBC Sports. Detroit at Philadelphia and Boston at Los Angeles against the Lakers. So again, Notre Dame takes a 5-point lead, but now with less than 55 seconds to play.
Long after you've turned off the engine of the Acura Vigor, it will continue to run through your mind. The Vigor from Acura.
A New Year's resolution for people with dandruff.
Dandruff?
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 I don't have dandruff.
Don't take a chance. Get some Head & Shoulders, because you never get a second chance to make a first impression.
Some people perspire.
We sweat.
You need Arid Double X Protection to help keep you extra, extra dry. And look, it's the only leading solid that doesn't leave a white, flaky mess.
Arid Double X helps keep us extra.
Extra dry.
Next Saturday, one of basketball's greatest rivalries is renewed as the third-ranked UCLA Bruins battle the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame.
We're back at Syracuse and going down to the wire. Notre Dame and Syracuse fighting it out. Irish have led.
This is the NBC Sports Prudential Update. Now, Gail Gardner.
Welcome back to our Prudential Update studio. Winter Olympics today, a moment to
lifesaver for American figure skater Paul Wiley, who gave the performance of his life and now has a medal to show for it. The unheralded Wiley turned in a great effort to win the silver medal. Victor Petrenko, who won the bronze in '88, this time captured the gold, and the bronze went to Czechoslovakia's Peter Bonner, who hit the first clean quadruple jump in Olympic history. It was a quadruple toe loop. Americans Christopher Bowman placed fourth, and Todd Elridge finished 10th. Meanwhile, in hockey, the U.S. improved to a perfect 4-0 mark with a 3-0 shutout of Poland. It was U.S. goalie Ray LeBlanc's second shutout. Well, there's certainly plenty of college basketball played this afternoon, so let's get you caught up on some action involving some of the top-ranked teams. First of all, in Bloomington, Bobby Knight picks up, a technical, how unusual for him. First half tied at 30. Indiana with a 21-5 run, keyed by David Bailey on the drive. Indiana by 2. Hoosiers now on the run. Greg Graham, the alley-oop to Calvert Chaney for the jam. Indiana in a rout. 91-60. The Hoosiers now 18-4, and Northwestern 52 consecutive Big Ten losses on the road. Meanwhile, South Carolina at Arkansas in Fayetteville without starters Joe Rett and Barry Manning. Arkansas on the attack. Lee Mayberry gets it inside to Isaiah Morris for the slam. Arkansas by 10. Second half, Arkansas again on the break, and that was Oliver Miller with the jam. Arkansas coming out on top of South Carolina, 89-73. Morris finishing with 21 points. In other games, it was Virginia Tech upsetting Tulane by the score of 89-73. It was Kansas, ranked number 4, defeating Colorado 82-45. Rex Walters pacing the Jayhawks with 22 points. And it was number 6, North Carolina, defeating Clemson in the final there 80-72. Hubert Davis led all scorers with 23 points for the Tar Heels. Meanwhile, in men's tennis, Jimmy Connor's surprising run in the Federal Express International of Memphis was halted in today's semifinals. Connor's eliminated by Malaveo Washington in straight sets. First set 5-2 Washington, receiving serve, and Connor's serving. Connor staying baseline. And Jimmy hits that one long. Washington goes on to win the first set by the score of 6-2. Second set, this is triple match point. Washington serving. Connors hits the top of the net. Malaveo Washington winning over Jimmy Connors in straight sets, 6-2, 7-5. Meanwhile, the Virginia Slims of Chicago, Martina Navratilova, defeating Lori McNeil in 3 sets. Lost the first set 6-1, but came back to win the second two 6-4, 6-4. And she can notch the all-time record, the 158th career win, if she wins the finals tomorrow. She will face either Steffi Graf or Jana Novotná. Meanwhile, Larry Holmes may be a grandfather, but he also may be on the verge of getting a shot at regaining the championship crown. Earlier today, I asked the 42-year-old Holmes if he was over the feeling of being underappreciated, a feeling that remained with him during his 7-year reign as champion, which ended in 1985.
No, I'm not really over it, and it's not really with me. I don't think the people in general are going to let me go because I followed a great man in Muhammad Ali, one of the legends of boxing, and everybody compares you with Muhammad Ali. It's always somebody doing something before me that if I use a line or something that they said, I'm stealing. So I'm not really going to get all the respect that I deserve. I think when I get to be 60, 70 years old, people will start realizing that Larry Holmes was a great fighter and a great athlete.
But there's some years of bitterness about that?
Sometimes there were some bitterness, because I worked so hard to be me, and they never let me be me. Anything I did, they always took it away from me. And, you know, it's kind of hard, you know, just trying to be me.
You're hearing the cheers now, though, aren't you?
Yeah, I still hear the cheers. I still hear the boos. I think it's going to be that way, because I'm one of the fighters that never stop to look back, always look forward, always set my goals high. And I strive for them. And sometimes people want to see failure.
Of course, Larry Holmes looking to face Evander Holyfield. Meanwhile, tomorrow on NBC, it's an NBA doubleheader with the later matchup featuring the Boston Celtics against the LA Lakers. And at halftime, Magic Johnson will again be paid tribute when his number 32 is retired by the Lakers. It was one of those moments you wanted to record on your VCR and play over and over again. It was like so many other images from his magical career, a career that has seen him lead the Lakers to 5 NBA championships. Tomorrow, one more tape will be added to the library. Still seemingly near the top of his game, Magic's number will be retired at halftime of the Celtics-Lakers game.
When he retires, that'll be a sad day, but it'll be a very proud day for me because I know my time's coming too.
If you're going to say one thing that you would miss, it would be playing against Larry.
Bird, still recovering from a sore lower back, won't play tomorrow. It will be only the second time in the last 13 seasons that both Bird and Magic will miss a Celtic-Laker game. On the court, their rivalry and friendship helped rebuild a struggling league. Tomorrow, Magic will be recognized for that and much more. A tribute well-deserved, but well before its time.
Life doesn't stop because something dramatic happens to you. I'm not going to let it stop me. I'm going to continue on. That's the only way I know how. You've been fighting all your life to get whatever it is that you want. You know it was going to be roadblocks, and it's just a bigger one now, and I just got to keep on fighting, and keep on smiling and keep on having a good time. And as long as you can do that and say your prayers, everything will be all right. I'll be all right.
Coverage begins at 12:30 Eastern Time with NBA Showtime. That is it from our Prudential Update studio in New York. Now let's rejoin Don Criqui and Al McGuire at the Carrier Dome. Gentlemen.
Thank you, Gail. Join us tomorrow on NBC for a special NBA doubleheader, starting with NBA Showtime at 12:30. Then it's Isaiah Thomas and the Pistons taking on Charles Barkley and the Philadelphia 76ers. Game 2 matches the Celtics and the LA Lakers. A very special halftime as the Lakers retire Magic Johnson's number 32 jersey. All tomorrow on NBC. Once again, the final score, Notre Dame 101, Syracuse 98. First time in over 500 games that Syracuse has allowed opponent 100 points. Now for Coach Al McGuire, this is Don Criqui. Glad you could be with us at the Carrier Dome.
A promotional fee has been paid to NBC by Delta Airlines. We love to fly, and it shows.
The preceding has been a presentation of NBC Sports, network of the games of the 25th Olympiad.
She gave up her children for adoption. Now, can she ever get them back?
I gave them life. They are my life!
Based on a true story, in the best interest of the children, NBC Sunday.
I believe if American car companies are putting out a good product, they deserve a shot, and Buick's doing that.
Motor Week magazine called Park Avenue the best luxury car value in the world. LeSabre, a Best Buy in both Consumer's Digest and Motor Trend. And Regal continues to snatch sales from every import because of quality. Announcing financing as low as 2.9% or giant cash back. See your nearest Florida Buick dealer and test drive Buick quality today.
Hot stuffed baked potatoes make the meal, and Wendy's is the only place that has them. With all kinds of toppings, they go great with our fresh salads, our old-fashioned chili, and they're terrific with a grilled chicken sandwich. We make a great baked potato, so you can make a great meal.
And Dave, right now you can make a great meal for just $1.99. Our delicious bacon and cheese baked potato or broccoli and cheese baked potato are just $1.99.
Try our hot stuffed baked potatoes today, only at Wendy's.
Come to Scotty's now. We have everything you need for less. Turn on the savings on Peerless. Get a Moen for less. And save on Merilite cabinets. We've cut prices on Owens Corning. And Closet-Made organizers hold a lot for a little. Plus, you can win $5,000 for the vacation of your dreams. No strings attached. Save now at Scotty's.
This is WFLA TV, Channel 8, Tampa Bay's news leader. And now, Irene Mayer. Frank Bravoni. Laura York with the weather. And Tom Corrin on sports. This is Newswatch 8 at 6.
Sane on all 15 counts. A Milwaukee jury reaches a verdict in the trial of confessed serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer. Good evening. I'm Frank Fraboni.
I'm Irene Mayer. Thanks for joining us. Prosecutors in the Jeffrey Dahmer mutilation murders have been trying to prove that Dahmer knew what he was doing when he killed and cut up his victims. Today, the jury agreed, deciding that Dahmer was sane when he killed and dismembered 15 young men in Milwaukee County. The trial verdict released within the last hour will send Dahmer to prison instead of a mental hospital. Dahmer had originally pleaded innocent but later changed the plea to guilty but insane. The jury found Dahmer sane on all 15 counts of murder after deliberating 10 hours.
At the time the crime was committed in count 1 of the information in regard to the death of James E. Dockstader, did the defendant, Jeffrey L. Dahmer, have a mental disease? Answer, no.
The verdict means Dahmer will receive a mandatory life sentence for each of the 15 counts of murder. A judge will determine later when or if he'll be eligible for parole.
The latest crime wave to sweep the Bay Area continues to take its toll tonight. Home invaders have struck again, this time in the upscale South Tampa neighborhood of Hyde Park.
Last night, a woman living at this apartment house at 2109 De Leon Street became the latest victim of home invasions. Police say the woman was walking her dog, feared someone was following her, and went into the house but didn't lock the door. That's when the suspect barged in with a knife, grabbed some things, and ran off. The victim was not hurt. People living in nearby apartments wonder about what's happening to the neighborhood.
Our apartment locks in the front, so I'm not really that worried, but it does concern me that it happened in my neighborhood.
Hyde Park's going to turn into bar your windows up and lock your door type neighborhood. That's the way it looks.
They just told me, come here. They got me and they pulled me over here to the side with the gun right here on my head.
Maria Saldana is among those with stories to tell after the rash of home invasions hit a peak this past week. On Wednesday, police made 3 arrests, but say not all the crimes are connected, and other armed intruders are still out there.
Here's an 8 on your side advisory. Police say there are simple precautions to protect yourself, things like stronger locks on doors and windows. Be aware of anything suspicious and strangers. Keep shrubs trimmed and outdoor lights installed and on, and valuables out of sight. Just a few hints, but mostly use common sense and call police at the first sign of trouble.
Brush fires broke out all around Central Florida today. One in eastern Hillsborough County forced authorities to close Highway 301 north and southbound from Everhart Road to Bloomingdale. We sent our Newswatch 8 helicopter Eagle 8 up to take a look. Pilot Mark Wallace and photographer Steve Shaw found the fire stretched diagonally across fields. They landed near Progress Village, where some people tried to keep the fire from reaching their homes.
Sure, I'm concerned. Why? Because I'm just at my house. I just finished paying for my house.
We then received word of another fire in Pasco County near Floral City. Wallace and Shaw found that fire burned into a junkyard at the AC Foreign Parts Recyclers north of Highway 41. There were also brush fires reported in Citrus County, where a firefighter suffered smoke inhalation. A sad chapter ends for the local family of a pilot who died in a military plane crash last week. Newswatch 8's Yolanda Fernandez attended a service in memory of Lieutenant Ren Yankar.
The body of Lieutenant Ren Yankar is home now, laid to rest in his hometown of Largo. Today, family and friends gathered at a memorial service in his honor.
I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever.
Lieutenant Yankar was part of the crew of a military cargo plane that crashed into a motel and restaurant in Evansville, Indiana last week. Yankar grew up in the Bay Area and attended Largo High School. His football coach remembers him fondly.
He, took life seriously, but not so seriously that he lost sight of having a good sense of humor. He was in athletics. He was in a certain amount of student government. He was real popular with all the, with the people here at school, and he was able to go from group to group and, fit in.
His family says he loved being a pilot. Today, the military honored his memory with a flyover. Ren Yankar's final resting spot is in a specially designated area of Serenity Gardens. The area is called the Circle of Honor, where he can rest in peace by the flag he served so well. In Largo, Yolanda Fernandez, Newswatch 8.
Yankar and his wife married just last May.
The race for president moves on into New Hampshire today. President Bush arrived there knowing he's in a tough race for the Republican nomination. Strategists acknowledge his main Republican challenger, Pat Buchanan, is picking up support. But Bush told reporters that's okay because he's been in tough races before. The important New Hampshire primary is Tuesday. Newswatch 8 goes across America with continuing coverage of the campaign.
Our Mark Strassman is in New Hampshire tonight, apparently in a snowstorm. He joins us now live. Mark?
Well, good evening on a snowy night in Manchester, Irene. Let's talk about newspapers. You know, on a good day, the Tampa Tribune and the St. Petersburg Times have some personality. But even on their best day, nothing like the Manchester Union Leader. It's the loudest, crankiest voice in the state, and critics say also its most vicious. But if you're going to run for president in this state, sooner or later, you're going to have to deal with its coverage. It's New Hampshire's most widely read paper, one of the country's most conservative, and arguably its most notorious.
Well, I think people are more conservative here than they are most places. And they agree with what they say.
This paper is unlike, I'm proud to say, most other papers.
Editor-in-Chief Joe McQuaid.
We have a particular point of view which we hope is very hard to miss.
President Ford was Jerry the Jerk, typical of the paper's approach. Outspoken, sometimes outrageous, and generally influential, led by front-page editorials. Its founder, the late William Loeb, gave the paper its angry, attacking voice.
The paper was very influential.
David Moore is a political science professor at UNH. He says the Union Leader's a throwback to 19th century newspapers.
Basically, what the paper would do is bring into the news not only the candidate's stand on issues, but the candidate's personal life, and they would go after the candidate's family as well.
In 1972, Ed Muskie, bitter at Loeb for a story about Muskie's wife, attacked him in front of the newspaper.
He's proved himself to be a gutless coward. A good woman.
Muskie couldn't go on, and neither could his presidential campaign. And Loeb?
He was a true believer. His favorite saying was that he didn't care what people thought about him so long as they thought.
Loeb's widow, Naki, runs the paper today. She's a true believer as well.
We don't rip apart people for fun.
What really makes this angry paper bristle is the charge that it's softened over the years, that the passing of William Loeb was the passing of an era. What the paper denies, in essence, is that it's gone from yellow to mellow.
I don't think it was ever yellow, and I don't think we're all that mellow. It's part of the mix. We don't intend to or want to monopolize the discussion in the little old state of New Hampshire.
That's not all by choice. These days, candidates flock to Manchester's WMUR-TV, New Hampshire's only commercial station.
Have you ever had an extramarital affair, Governor? Well, if I had, I wouldn't tell you.
Even so, if the paper's less mighty now, this faithful reader blames it on the state's new residents.
Well, they come in here from Massachusetts.
Too liberal, huh?
You know how they are.
The Union Leader's editor only half-jokingly refers to New Hampshire's neighbor to the south as the People's Republic of Massachusetts. Now, today's front-page editorial, it's entitled The Great Pretender by Naki Loeb. It's an attack on George Bush. The Union Leaders never liked Bush, never thought he was a true conservative. The paper's choice for 1992, Frank and Irene, is Pat Buchanan.
Certainly some interesting politics there, at least in New Hampshire. I'm sure it's a lot more exciting than Iowa.
Yes.
Well, yeah, there's definitely a race here, unlike Iowa. And again, as we get closer to Tuesday, the intensity of the comments and the sniping is picking up, and that includes in this paper.
Right.
Thanks a lot, Mark.
Thanks, Mark. When your 24-hour news watch continues, some folks in Tampa got a running start this morning.
The Gasparilla Distance Classics sent hundreds winding through the streets of downtown on a race to the finish.
Remember the good old days when you could drive a Cadillac for about $20,000? Well, the good old days are back. This month, Ed Morse can put you in a new 1992 Cadillac for about $20,000. Cadillac style with no down payment and no monthly payment worries. And you drive away for about $20,000. Ed Morse Cadillac, America's largest volume Cadillac dealer, sells for less at Florida and Fletcher in Tampa. You just can't beat an Ed Morse deal.
At Circuit City's George Washington's birthday sale, the savings are spectacular. Save on top brand TVs, like this 19-inch Color Zenith, now $189.97. Save on top brand loudspeakers. Get these Bose 301s at a great closeout price, just $99.97 each. Save on refrigerators, like this 14.3 cubic foot Estate, only $377.97. Save throughout the entire store now at George Washington's birthday sale.
Welcome to Circuit City, where service is state-of-the-art.
Our dentist recommended baking soda.
But we wanted tartar control.
Arm & Hammer Dental Care gives us both.
Now Arm & Hammer Dental Care just introduced the only tartar control toothpaste with baking soda.
And brushing with baking soda...
Or baking soda toothpaste.
...is recommended by 2 out of 3 dentists to help provide healthy teeth and gums.
Only Arm & Hammer Dental Care gives us the tartar control we want.
And the baking soda our dentist recommends.
New Arm & Hammer Dental Care tartar control.
From the baking soda experts.
My family's owned this pharmacy for 20 years. This little sign says I'm a member of the Vita Pharmacy Network. It means personal service from a pharmacist who knows you. Plus, great selection and low prices, thanks to Vita's network buying power.
This month at Vita, save on Arthrocare Pain Relieving Rub for hours of arthritis relief and St. Ives shampoos and conditioners.
Look for the Vita sign in your neighborhood pharmacy, your sign of value.
Target 8, Tampa Bay's most honored investigative team.
Quite a sight on the streets of Tampa today. Thousands and thousands of people ran along one of the prettiest streets in the Bay Area. The Gasparilla Run is for both the amateur and the serious athlete. Newswatch 8 carried the race live today. Newswatch 8's David Logan was there with the rest of our sports team.
The city streets of Tampa held center stage today as some of the world's best runners gathered for the 15th annual Gasparilla Distance Classic. The race, which is considered by many to be one of the finest in the country, provided several runners the opportunity to pull off major upsets. In the wheelchair race, Doug Kennedy's one-year reign as champion came to an end at the hands of Jim Knopf, while in the women's division, Connie Hansen blew away the competition for the 2nd year in a row.
I feel fortunate to win and worked hard out there. It's a good race.
And I realized I had a little lead, and then I thought, well, if I go like 95% by now, they have to fight hard to catch me. If they do, they're worn out by that time, but they never came up.
In the main event, everyone expected 2-time winner John Halverson to pull off the three-peat with heavy competition coming from Steve Spence. But instead, the man who surprised them all, crossing the finish line first, was Brazil's Valendour dos Santos. As for the women, Wilma Van Arne, who missed last year's race because of a problem with her airline ticket, was determined to go back home a winner.
Because there were not that many people running with me, so I didn't have any problem. Maybe the rest of the people who were picked, but I didn't have problems.
This great race continues to provide some of the winners an opportunity to move on to bigger and better races, such as the Olympics. But as for the average, everyday runner, today's race was their Olympics.
It was just a challenge for myself, you know. I was just trying to finish. I had never gone over 6.5 before. So to do 9.3 was just a goal in itself.
In Tampa, David Logan, Newswatch 8.
Now, some people participated in the Gasparilla Distance Classic for more than health and fun.
They ran to raise funds for favorite charities. Employers from companies throughout the Bay Area sponsored teams in the Corporate Cup Championship. It was the 12th annual run. Participants competed in 5 categories. Their thoughts on the outcome varied.
I finished. That's the important part.
Okay. Good as I could. Good as I could. I did my best.
Very well. Very well.
I didn't do well at all. The heat got to me. Ended up walking today. First time in 14 years.
Winning among the men's only and the women's only teams, Nations Bank. Coming in first in the mixed teams, First Florida Bank. And for the Masters team, including 40 and older racers, United States Special Operations came out on top. Even those who didn't finish first were winners. Their participation raised money to support local youth charities.
Congratulations.
Any finish is good enough for me.
That's right. I agree. Still to come on your 24-hour News Watch, the Gasparilla Distance Classic has a surprise at the end.
You marry me?
And it may look like all fun and games for this couple, but this day at the races became the start of some serious business.
And today was a perfect example of our fantastic Florida weather. But what about tomorrow? Well, stay tuned and I'll tell you the forecast as your 24-hour News Watch continues.
Of all the thoroughbreds, one stands alone. Mustang, ahead of the herd 6 years running. And this Mustang won't saddle you with a big payment. The others just can't touch what Ford Mustang offers. Air conditioning, AM/FM stereo cassette, speed control, power windows and locks, and more. In fact, to get ahead of a Mustang, you'd have to do the impossible. Home on the range. Mosey on over to your local Ford dealer today for a new Mustang. Only $199 a month, partner.
What do you say? What do you say?
I could eat this Bullseye barbecue burger till the cows come home.
The Bullseye Barbecue Burger from Burger King. 2 flame-broiled burgers on a Western bun with cheese and bacon topped with a big, bold taste of Bullseye barbecue sauce.
I could cook up something like this. I just don't choose to.
Now you can rustle up a Bullseye Barbecue Burger for just $1.99, but only for a limited time.
Your way, right away, at Burger King now.
Listen to this. Depend products with AbsorbLock Plus are truly making a difference. Dear June, when the local daycare asked for help, I thought, I can do this. But June, it wouldn't have been possible without Depend. And double-layered AbsorbLock Plus makes this our best protection yet. The top layer absorbs, the quilted layer locks liquid away. I knew I could give something to those kids, but I couldn't believe how much they gave me. Get back into life.
Attention, please. The big one is here. Roberts was closed all day Friday to get ready for the big one. Saturday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. Sunday, noon to 6. And Monday, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. 3 incredible days of savings on furniture, appliances, cellular phones, electronics, and bedding. With no down payment. No interest for 90 days. And the lowest prices of the year. Don't miss Roberts' Big One sale. Now through Monday only. Why bother with all the others when it costs less at Roberts?
Laura York's Doppler radar forecast has been approved by the American Meteorological Society.
Some of the runners we heard from a little earlier were even complaining about the heat today.
Oh, well, wham. It was
gorgeous.
It was perfect. Everyone was smiling. I love these kind of days. We can get out and brag. In fact, we have a gorgeous sunrise picture to show you in just a few moments. Weather-wise, we have the best in the nation. And I'll show you more in just a moment. Take a look outside, though. What a gorgeous day it was for us. This is how it started out here in the Bay Area. Our current temperature is 70 degrees. This morning's low, 57. The high, 77. Yes, it was warm. Winds are out of the south at 8 miles an hour. Barometric pressure holding steady. Nighttime lows in our forecast here in the Bay Area. Well, tonight here in Tampa, we're going down to 63 degrees. St. Petersburg, 64. Sarasota also with 64. Lakeland, 59. And Brooksville looks like they're going down to 58 degrees. By tomorrow, though, Brooksville, you're going up to 78. Lakeland with 81, 80 here in Tampa and St. Petersburg. 81 also in the forecast tomorrow afternoon for Sarasota. Currently, our temperature here at the station, 70 degrees. St. Petersburg with 72. Sarasota cooling rather rapidly, already down to 67. Tallahassee, the coolest, of course, with 63. Take a look at all of our cloud cover. Well, our cloud cover's not showing. I don't know what's happened. It's on my monitor. But we do have plenty of cloud cover moving on through the area. And it looks like we're going to go right to our marine forecast. We must have lost something in the back there. All that dandy weather. Winds tomorrow, boaters, they'll be variable. 5 to 10 knots, seas 2 to 3 feet. 59 degrees, that's the Gulf temperature. 61 for Tampa Bay. And as far as tides tomorrow at the St. Petersburg Pier, we'll have 3. The first will be a low tide early in the morning at 7:20. Then the high tide in the afternoon at 2:37. The final tide, a low tide tomorrow evening at 6:01. Sunrise in the morning will be at 7:07. Our sunset at 6:22. Take a look at the forecast for the rest of this evening. Partly cloudy skies. Again, tonight's low, 63 degrees. By tomorrow, yes, we're going up to 80 degrees with mostly cloudy skies. Rain, well, there's a little rain in the forecast. Take a look at the rain watch. You'll see some scattered showers in here by Tuesday and Wednesday. Daytime highs, boy, on Monday, we're going up to 82 degrees. And look at those morning lows, staying right there also, moving right on up. And rain in the forecast by Tuesday and Wednesday. Just some scattered showers in here, nothing to worry about. Normal high temperature would be 71. Normal nighttime low would be 50. So we are well above normal for this time of the year. And I guess those runners were a little warm out there. Of course, they probably weren't warm just because of the weather.
Yeah.
They ran.
Well, that's
long
true. They were
way.
really working out.
They were working out hard. We'll have more maps tonight, guaranteed.
Don't worry about the maps because it was such nice weather. There wasn't anything to see anyway.
And it looks like tomorrow will be gorgeous. A great day to end the fair.
The fair, that's right.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Sports is next on your 24-hour news watch. Tom Korn has more on today's fiery crash at Daytona.
Plus, highlights from round 2 of the seniors golf tournament going on in Lutz.
Is there something wrong? I mean, you have this strange look on your face. What do I need to do? Brush more? Get another toothpaste? What?
Tartar Control Crest helps stop tartar where it starts. It penetrates plaque before it hardens for easier cleanings, and more dentists recommend it.
You're smiling. Does that mean less tartar?
Tartar Control Crest. The dentist's choice is the easy choice.
Well, aren't you going to congratulate me?
For $6.99 in most family restaurants, you get something like this. At Homestyle Family Buffet for $6.99, you get all you can eat of everything. Roast beef, fried chicken, fresh soups and salads, home-styled vegetables, delicious desserts, and more. And where else can kids get the same full menu for only $2.99?
Wow!
So what'll it be? This or this? Homestyle Family Buffet. Now that's value.
Buy direct at Dealers Liquidation Center. Over 500 low-mileage 90, 91, and 92 vehicles. All makes, all models. At Dealers Liquidation Center, it's easy, and we save you money. Get double your trade-in value up to a total of $6,000. Plus, get double your cash down payment up to $2,000. That gives you up to $8,000 buying power. Don't pay too much for a new car. Buy direct and save at Dealers Liquidation Center, 6305 East Hillsboro.
Target 8, Tampa Bay's most honored investigative team.
It was a gorgeous day to be on the golf course.
Great day for the golfers. See, as for the runners, they wanted it cooler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the golfers, they want it hot. Because these guys, I'm sorry. when it
Wear
gets
those
cold,
fancy shorts.
That's right. Well, they can't. They'd like to, but they can't.
Long pants.
That's right.
Okay.
Do you like golf?
Me?
Yes.
No.
Well, you're going to have to.
Okay.
All right, time for a little golf, folks. Second round of the GTE Suncoast Classic at TPC in Lutz today. Kermit Zarley right here in the fairway. This will give you an idea just how windy it was. Look at this ball just hooking way over to the left side of the green. See, at least he lands on the green. If I hit it, I'll be in a house, a pool. Hard to tell. But Kermit Zarley, even the wind played with some putts. This putt's supposed to break left to right, kind of blows over a little bit to the left. But Kermit Zarley right now leading the GT Suncoast Classic by 1 as we look into the leaderboard right now, heading into tomorrow's final round. Bobby Nichols and George Archer are tied for second at 8 under par. Gary Player, best round of the day, a 5 under par 66. He is 2 shots.
Back to green flag racing at Daytona following these messages.
It's more than 30 years old, but to you, it's better than anything they're turning out today. Son of a Gun Protectant from STP is one of the good things you do for it. Son of a Gun not only brings out luster and shine and rubber vinyl and plastic, it cleans and protects. We know how you feel about your car, and we want you to go on feeling that way. Son of a Gun Protectant, one of the good things you do for your car.
Warning, up to half of all engine wear can happen when you start your car. At this critical time, tests prove Quaker State 10W30 protects better than any other leading 10W30 motor oil. In an overwhelming majority of engine tests, Quaker State 10W30 flowed faster to all vital parts. In all size engines tested, Quaker State protected faster, so it protected better. Get the best protection against startup wear. Today's Quaker State, it's one tough motor oil.
For age-old problems like these, Goodyear introduces a brand new solution like this.
Goodyear Wrangler GSA. Goodyear Wrangler GSA has a unique triple tread zone that gives you breakthrough, all-service, all-season traction. Mile after mile, year after year. So if you own one of these, you need these. Goodyear Wrangler GSA. Then you'll know why we say the best tires in the world have Goodyear written all over them.
With 30 laps remaining, we're just back to green flag racing, riding with Richard Petty. So for the entire CBS Sports crew, this is Ken Squire saying so long from the Daytona International Speedway. For Davey Allison has won his first Daytona 500. Next on CBS, it's the 16th Winter Olympic Games from Albertville, France, followed by 60 minutes.